as I'm discovering, not being a horsey person and not having much of an understanding of horsing, there's lots of things you can do with a horse in an arena like that. And the reigning Australian 2017 Gold Buckle Futurity and National Championships is the next event off, or next cab off the rank, if you like. It's coming up at ALEC, the Australian Equine and Livestock Events Centre at Tamworth, and it's next week. Glenn Windsor has come a long way to be part of this, so it must be pretty important. Glenn, how you going? You're from WA, mate.
I am. I'm from a little place called Rowlands, about an hour and a half south of Perth. Yep.
Is there anything south of Perth? It's all desert, isn't it?
No, look, it is a little bit of heaven down there. It's probably the closest thing to southeast Queensland you'll ever find with the Mediterranean climate. So, no, it's pretty nice. The rest of it's all sand, so you just ignore the rest of that.
Yeah.
So,
I've been as far as Bunbury, but no further.
Oh, yeah, Bunbury's a pretty nice spot.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah.
And nice friendly people there too, I found.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I spent a lot of time up north through the East and West Kimberley and places like that. But yeah, that's homes down there at Bunbury. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
so how good is our shed out here if people are coming from all over Australia to it?
It's excellent. You know, it's been there for quite a few years now. One of the main reasons it was originally built was for cutting.
Yeah.
Reining Australia moved there a few years ago. We used to hold them at the old Olympic Centre down there at Horsley Park.
Yep.
Moved up to Queensland for one show, and I think they've been down here 7 or 8 years now. I'm not sure on that. I was out of the industry when I was living in Broome for a little while.
Mm. So what's reining then? What's that?
Reining's basically a sport where there's they have to sliding stops, fast spins.
Yeah, right. And so the horse is pretty active in this process, right?
Oh, very. Yeah. They've got to be an athlete. Yep,
yeah,
for sure.
We hear a lot about, and you know, in the lead up to the Olympics, we get to understand a lot about which horse the riders are taking, and you know what their backup horses are, and the strong relationship between rider and horse. Do you notice that in reining as well?
For sure. You've got to have that trust of your horse. My attitude is reining is the closest thing to natural horsemanship because it's all got to be done on a loose rein. The rule is willingly guided.
Oh, okay. So that's what it's about.
It's basically willingly guided. You've got to be able to get your horse to do all those manoeuvres: spin, stop, slide, roll back, lead change, preferably on as loose a rein as possible and willfully guided. So the more contact you have on your horse, the more points you lose.
It sounds like done badly, it can look pretty ordinary, but if it's done well, it'll be magic.
It's awesome. I've had the good fortune to be able to get to the NRHA Futurities in Oklahoma City 2 or 3 times, and that's the epitome of it. You know, they're riding for $300,000 or $400,000 over there.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many professions made out of things that we do at an amateur level in this country. It must infuriate some of the people that participate in a lot of the horse disciplines here.
Yeah, look, the basic Australian attitude to horsemanship is they want to do it themselves. But to be able to do reining at the elite level, you've got to get some really good help. We've got some good trainers in Australia. Most of them will be on display up there at ALEC the coming week. Yeah. It'll be, if any of the locals want to come along, please feel free, because we have kids from as young as 5 competing in it, up to, in WA we have a lady that's 72 that's still competing over it, and she competes and has fun. And the reining fraternity, all in all, is a pretty happy, welcoming organisation to new people. And look, everybody in reining, everybody realises you've got to start somewhere. And I can tell you, from Sean Flower to Andrea Fapani, who are the great riders in the States, to our leading guys, they've made the same mistakes as the beginners, mate.
Now, Glenn, one of the things about the shed at ALEC, of course, is the large size of the arena. Do you use it all, or is it... I mean, the horses get pretty mobile by the sounds of it.
We use every square inch of that ALEC arena, both during warm-up, training. There's an outdoor arena there. That'll get used. It is a pretty intense little place, and it is an intense event. I would welcome you to come out and have a drink with us one night and have a look at it.
Yeah. So what about judging then? How subjective is that? Is it fairly strictly regulated?
They say that the reining judging is the most accurate of any judging system in the world. It's the average.
No video ref required. Eh?
No. Yes, they do. Yeah. If there's a contentious point that a judge, we have 2 judges judging. Yep.
So you and me, for argument's sake.
Yeah, well, you and I might see things differently, and I mark it down, you mark it up. And if there's too much of a conflict of interest, they do go to a video replay to just check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, from what parts of Australia will riders be from next week here in Tamworth?
Well, we've got a guy and his daughter coming across from Perth
Yep.
to compete. So they've been on the road since about the 7th of this month. They arrive in.
They shouldn't have ridden, mate. They should have put it in a horse boat.
True. Well, yeah. Well, the poor guy bought a brand new gooseneck, as we call him.
Yeah.
He'd only arrived about a week, so he's done the test drive all the way over. But he's pretty dedicated. He's what we call a professional, so he does do some clinics and stuff in WA. So he's coming across to throw his hat in the ring just to see what he's like. Apart from that, two judges are from international, one from the US, one from Italy.
Okay. So it's an international competition then. You said the United States already, but
they're the judges. So they're the two judges that we've got coming across.
Yeah, I understand, but so they have reining in Europe as well.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Yeah. Look, the Europeans are probably as strong as what some of the American horses are these days. Like the Italians especially, they bought some early days. They bought some fantastic bred horses, and now they're as strong internationally. They've just recently had the World Youth Equestrian Cup, and I believe the Italians actually won it.
Yeah, okay.
And there's horses from America and everything, kids from America.
So just talk us through the breeding of the horses then, because we revel in the success. We've got some great programs down in the Hunter Valley. The Australian stock horse, of course, has become world famous for its abilities, its agility. What breeds are best favoured to reining?
Good question. The quarter horse is basically the horse of choice, but having said that, these days the quarter horse has been outcrossed with to breed Appaloosas, to breed paint horses. One of the greatest horses ever, and sorry to go back to America, is a horse called Spook's Got a Whiz. Now that horse is available now for seamen in Australia to be able to bred to Australian horses. We've got Wimpy's little Step. Fantastic horse. There's progeny of his. There's a couple of his size, junior size coming up. It's the quarter horse is the breed, but then it fans out from there, and it's an amazing thing.
All right. So how long did you say you've been doing it?
Oh, look, I probably started 16 years ago. I had a bit of a hiatus in Broome for 8 years, did a lot of turning and spinning and stopping under the floodlights up in Broome. But it's a passion, and once it gets under your skin, it's probably the greatest thing you can do with your clothes on, I reckon.
Yeah. So are you a bushy, Glenn? Have you used horses professionally for income earning other than eventing?
No, just a city slicker up in Brisbane there that always had a passion for horses. My wife has a passion for horses. She's now into the reining. She's doing quite well in our little club there over in WA. So, look, it's just an amazing thing, reining. It just really does. It's the only Western sport that's recognised by the EFI.
It sounds like, when you say that, it sounds like Who's on First, the Abbott and Costello sketch.
Oh, I love it.
The reigning champion. Of what?
Yeah.
No, the reigning champion.
Yeah. No, it's a you'll find most reiners are very passionate. Yeah. Very passionate. It's a fantastic sport.
Okay, so how many people are expected?
We've got 178 competitors coming across from all parts.
Family and bits and pieces.
Oh, no, that's just riders.
Yeah.
So then all the hangers on, like...
You say that in the nicest possible way. Yes.
If you were to drive up to Ailey come Sunday, there'd be probably $10 million worth of trucks and trailers up there.
Wow.
They invest a lot of money, and horses, you can pay up to $30,000 or $40,000 for a good reining horse in Australia now.
All right, sounds like a fabulous event. Good luck. Are you competing at all yourself?
No, I'm the show manager.
Right, okay, good on you.
I have all the stress.
So senses prevailed, mate.
Finally.
It's a long way up and down these days, isn't it?
Look, I still compete back home.
I do,
but
good on you.
It just for a bit of fun and just to keep the cobwebs blowing out on an old guy, so it's just good to kick around and keep your finger in the pie, so to speak. Yep.
Smart move coming up here early, mate. You'll get a good park for the caravan, good spot up there.
I'm staying at the Great Golden Guitar, so they always look after us up there. It's a pretty good spot.
You don't rough it too much then?
No.
Righto.
Too old for that.
All right, Glenn. Best of luck with the competition.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the interview.
Glenn Windsor from Rowlands, which is near a little place called Bunbury, or near Bunbury in WA anyway. It's 24 to 11 on ABC.